All right, everybody, welcome to the very first Senergy Autonomic Nervous System Reset Challenge. I am super excited, as I'm sure all of you are. And even if you're not here for the challenge, this is very vital information that I'm about to share with you on why the ANS, why we're doing this challenge, why the original Tennant BioModulator here is the best on the market for this type of therapy, how it's going to help calm the entire system down, help with your pain, help with so many aspects of your body, and some tips and tricks on how to get the best out of your biomodulator and the therapy while you're doing the challenge or just any time you're using this device. So let's get into it. So why is the ANS so important? What's the deal? What does it do? Well, it is literally the brains of the organization. It is what is running all of your subconscious processes throughout your day. It never shuts off. It is working day and night to pump your blood, to make sure that your lungs are breathing, to get all of the lymph fluid pushed around. Everything that your body does that you're not thinking about, your autonomic nervous system is doing. That takes a lot of work. And unfortunately, in today's environment, it is being constantly bombarded with EMFs, with stress from the news, from physical stress, from all kinds of things that is coming at us at any given time. So what that means is the nervous system, which is designed to be mostly in our parasympathetic rest and relax state, is in that constant fight or flight sympathetic mode, and it doesn't allow us to just calm down and get out of pain naturally like our bodies are designed for. What are the odds that if you've been in chronic pain like I was for so long, if I just take this amazing Y-Electrode here with my biomodulator, go right after the pain, yeah, it might do something because of the technology in here. However, if I am super clenched up like this in that stressed sympathetic state, because my autonomic nervous system hasn't been taken care of first, what are the odds that I'm going to get the most out of my therapy? Not very good. So by resetting our autonomic nervous system each and every day, which is what this challenge is all about, we are calming the system down. We are entraining it, key word there, to be in that parasympathetic rest and relax mode for the majority of the time instead of that stressed fight or flight mode that unfortunately today so many of us find ourselves in the majority of the time. So the reason that the biomodulator here is the best on the market, in my humble opinion, at doing this is because it uses a technology that is very close to the way that your body naturally communicates. It uses a biphasic sine wave, which is how your cells communicate with each other. So it's a language that they know, that they understand, and can change things inside your body unlike anything else out there, right? So most stimulators that are for the nervous system, they use what's known as a square wave. And if you think of a square, you think sharp edges, corners, that is very disruptive to the system. And that is by design for these devices. For a TENS device, it's designed to disrupt the pain signal from getting to your brain. For this, it's designed to force compliance into your vagus nerve, which is the primary nerve that your autonomic nervous system can be modified, shall we say, in shifting from the sympathetic fight or flight into the parasympathetic rest and relax. And that harsh signal forces it to shift in that moment, and it can work in the moment with those consumer grade devices. With the biomodulator, you are entraining it, because these frequency sets that are in here have been tested. They have been proven to calm everything down and give you lasting pain relief that other devices cannot claim to have. And the benefit of that is that you're not just feeling calm and relaxed in the moment. It is going so far beyond that. And I am a testimony to that. I have seen it work firsthand on me. I was in terrible pain for a long time, and this was the only device that got me out of that. Now, when you are doing your therapy, I prefer to use the Y-Electrode, and I will show you why. There is a built-in electrode here on the BioModulator, which you can use, which I do use when I'm traveling, when I don't have my Y-Electrode with me, and I just want this little pocketable device with me. I can put it here and everything will calm down. However, it is a bit harder to find the sweet spot with this flat electrode here than it is with these two balls that can sink in a little deeper on the side of your neck here. So, a couple of tips. As you're doing the therapy, it's very important to get the spot right. Now, as you turn your neck, you will notice the SCM, the sternocleidomastoid muscle, popping out right along here. You do not want to go in front of that muscle because you have veins and arteries coming through here that you do not want to compress with any electrode. You want to go behind that muscle. The vagus nerve kind of goes from back to front. It kind of hides under that muscle a little bit. So it might take a little bit of moving the electrode around to find that sweet spot. As you turn on your biomodulator and you put it right behind that SCM muscle, about an inch or two down below your ear, you're going to just put a light amount of pressure in there. You can either leave it in assess mode or switch to 10.8, which all biomodulators have both, and turn it up until you feel just a slight tingle. You do not need to crank it up to where you can barely take it. This is not like a typical TENS unit where you're trying to block that signal, so it has to be up high. This is working with your body, and it just needs to be a whisper. Also, if you turn it on and you're in one of those modes, now it's important to stay in those modes because they are a pretty static signal via any electrode that you have attached to here. Why that is important is because you don't want to move to a variable mode like infinity or VA step where it is bouncing around through the frequency sets and you think that it's comfortable, but then all of a sudden it goes somewhere else where it's stronger and you get zapped. You want to stay in assess or 10.8, let it get to where it is a comfortable power level, and then if you want to switch modes, you can do so from there. If you turn it on and you feel it, but it feels very uncomfortable, like pins and needle-ish, that is very common when it is misplaced on your neck. You need to get it to a place where it is a gentle vibration. There are no pins and needles. And that means the balls here, if you're using them, are vertical to the ground here. The Y-Electrode is parallel to the ground so that it is along the vagus nerve here. You do not want to go like this because now you are pushing on the artery here and you're on both sides of the SCM muscle and you can run into some issues there. So vertical, get it to where it is a calm, gentle vibration. You should feel it, but it should not feel like pins and needles. It should not be uncomfortable in any way. If it travels up to your ear or down a little bit, that is totally normal. That means the nerve is engaged. If your neck starts to pull like this, that means you're engaging the SCM, and that also could mean that it's up too high. So move it around a little bit, see if the SCM disengages, or if you need to dial it back on your biomodulator, you can do that as well. And once it is in that sweet spot, 2 to 5 minutes is typically all you need. However, if you've been in a chronic pain state for a long time, then you might want to leave it there for longer. You might do 10 minutes, 15 minutes. I know I've done sessions that are quite lengthy because it just feels so good, and I trust that my body will tell me when I am done with the therapy, when my shoulders relax, when my head clears, when I get all of the signs that I have adequate therapy. Then I will switch to the other side. Now, which side do you start with? Which side do you end with? It really doesn't matter as long as you do both sides, because they both control slightly different areas of the nervous system. So you want to hit both and get that therapy in there. It doesn't have to be perfect. It doesn't have to be exactly 2 minutes on each side or 5 minutes or whatever it is. Plus, side to side, you might get a different sensation. There might be a stronger pull on your left versus your right. So you might have to adjust the power level on your biomodulator as you switch. Now, the reason that the Y-Electrode is so effective, again, is because it's not a flat electrode like this. You can get in there a little bit more if you need to put a little bit more pressure. Not too much pressure. You're not forcing anything here. And again, behind the SCM, so that you're not affecting any major arteries, this does reach a bit deeper into that area so that the nerve engages that much better. And that is why we prefer to use the Y-Electrode. However, if you only have the biomodulator with you, that rear electrode will work, and you can get the therapy wherever you happen to be. Another very important point while you're doing this therapy, whether it's during the challenge or any time that you have your biomodulator, is set and setting matter a lot. If I'm sitting here scrolling through Instagram or checking the news for the latest tragedy that happened today, what are the chances that my autonomic nervous system is going to slow down into that rest and relax state? It is going to be that much harder to overcome that external stimulation that I am trying to just separate from via this electric pulse if I am still staring at it and it is entering my vision. So what I do is I'll either use my brain tap, which is a phenomenal device. That thing goes over your head and will calm you down via music and gentle stimulation of your eyes and your ears, and that will calm everything down. If you don't have that, you can go on YouTube, you can find some calming music, you can put your headphones on, and you can do that. Or you can just close your eyes and just think happy thoughts. Think about gratitude, what you're grateful for. Anything that will calm the system down naturally is what you want to go after. If you are in a stimulating environment, again, headphones are great. Just close your eyes, try to block all of that out and get to the calmest point that you can so that the biomodulator can do its thing without any type of interference. Does that make sense? So ideally, you want to be in a calm, centered environment, just not too much stimulation. If you are traveling, which I am frequently, just close those eyes, pop those noise-canceling headphones in if you have them, and create the environment as best you can, and your therapy will go that much farther. I can't wait to see all of you at the end of this challenge. No matter when you are watching this video, pop a comment into our Facebook group, on our YouTube feed, wherever you're seeing this. We would love to hear from you. We would love to see pictures, videos, whatever your experience is. We would love to hear your feedback so that we can constantly get better at delivering the best autonomic nervous system pain relief on the market. Let's get this challenge going. Any questions you have, call into our office, set up an appointment, and let's get this thing rolling. Stay energized, my friends, and I will see you at the top.